What's up, y'all? Welcome in. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit of time to join me here. Try something new for a change. I'm just gonna go live. I don't even need the video to show, but I definitely wanted to give y'all some value by that before the day was over. And I saw the day getting away from me. It's already dark where I'm at. It's only 6:12 p.m. But it get dark so early right now. So the daylight saving time stuff. So but I said I'm not gonna let this day go by. I committed to making sure I get y'all a video today. So damn it, that's what I'm gonna do. So here I am. So I'm gonna give a little bit of time, let some people join me, drop the city in the chat, let me know what's going on. Shout out to Mr. Darius Cooper checking in. Say let's get age. I appreciate you checking in. Shout out to everybody in CBN as well. Y'all know I've been doing my daily workout with me in the morning. So I'm gonna be right back at it again tomorrow on the Clean Biz Fitness channel inside the Clean Biz Network community, 8 o'clock a.m. All right, so make sure y'all join me there. Welcome in. Who's that? Why can I say that? Angel, what is that? Angel Rich Chick TV, something like that. Angelic TV. I'm gonna roll with that. My guy, Mahar, checking in. Appreciate you checking in. Who else? We got Tate Tobin from Knoxville, Tennessee. I appreciate you. My guy Robert Perkins, 3493, says #1 China. I appreciate that. That's motivation. I'm telling you, that one little thing helped me. I say, you know what? Well, I'll be back then. Let's prove that I'm #1 then. All right, it was an angler chick. Okay. I still probably said it wrong. Is it angler or angler? I'm gonna go with angler. Angler chick TV. But Lisa checking in from Newport News. Appreciate you, Miss Lisa Geddes, checking in. Finally got you that last lead. We owed you too. I made sure I got on them last week. They got it done finally. So kudos to that. Hopefully you can close that deal. All right. I just want to get in here and talk some junk tonight, y'all. I just want to go ahead and rant. Hopefully get y'all some value and you walk away with something. I don't know if some of y'all on y'all way out to clean some buildings, if some of y'all already out there cleaning buildings, if you don't do the field work at all. But either way, I'm glad y'all here, y'all. So we're gonna go ahead and get straight into it. So one thing I was noticing about myself as well as others, right? Because it's one good thing about like being a podcast host or a mentor is you get to learn faster because you speak to so many different people. So not only are you learning from your life experiences and everything you going through, but you also get to learn from the other people. So it's like you 10xing your growth, your knowledge. It's like way faster because of all of these different experiences that you get to combine, right? And so, by the way, I'm cooking in the background, so if you hear some chicken start frying, that's that's what that noise is. All right, but anyway, but one thing I started to notice was, and actually, I'll start with this first, and then I'll show you how I applied it in my life. But I was talking to somebody that I've been mentoring a little bit loosely here or there. And it's like not coaching, but mentoring. So the mentoring is free. That's something that if you happen to meet me in person and we happen to, build that connection. I got you here there when I can, right? But anyway, but this person, they have a cleaning company and they were, going back and forth about, like what should they do next. And I think they had the company for about a couple of years now. But they also been thinking about doing an organizing company, but they also do residential cleaning, but they also been thinking about, y'all see where I'm going already, right? So they've been doing a lot of stuff. And so long story short, I was trying to get this person to just focus because, and I didn't realize that it all comes down to one word, and it's clarity. You just got to get clear on exactly what you really want. So that way you can go all in that direction. In the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, he talks about what is the phrase, how he says it. You have to have a definite purpose, right? That's the very first thing. You got to have a vision and a definite purpose, and then you can go all in on that. And so that's what I had to realize for this person was I said, you know what? It's like, and it's been weeks now, and it's not really a whole bunch of progress. And one of the reasons is because you can't figure, you don't even know which way you want to go. And I can't tell you what you want, right? Because it's not my life. All I can do is be here to help maybe guide you, to help you think it through so you can get clarity on where you want to go. And then also I can help you to take the steps necessary to go in that direction once you decide which direction you want to go. But if you don't get clear on it, it's no amount of motivation that's going to help you. And there's no amount of discipline that's going to help you, because if you get all motivated and pumped up to but you don't know what business to do, how is that helping us? Right? Or if you practicing discipline and you getting up every day and you discipline and said, I'm gonna do these cold calls every single day for an hour straight or 8 hours straight, but who you calling? You don't even know who you want to call. So it's like you got to know exactly where it is that you want to go. You know what I mean? You got to know exactly it is. What is it that you want? What do you want and what you don't want? And be clear about that, because that right there will help you navigate what your next move should be. And so now to swing that and apply it to my life, I started noticing, damn, I did lose clarity. You know what I mean? Like in my earlier days, when I like, especially when I was like, when I felt like it was better than the situation that I am now, right? I had a lot of clarity. I knew exactly what I wanted, where I wanted to live, how much I wanted my business to make, how I wanted to make it. You know, what I mean? All these different things. What my schedule was going to be, this and that, right? And while I do, obviously, because we creatures of habit, so I've been doing this long enough, where it's like I still practice some of those things and some of those disciplines and those habits. But the problem is, I lost clarity. I wasn't sure what I wanted anymore, because some of the things I started to achieve and started to get, once I got them, I wasn't really happy with with the results of them, right? So what I had to do and what I've been starting to do now is going back to the drawing board. Okay, AJ, well, what exactly do you want? You know what I mean? And so I encourage you to do the same. Like, get clear on exactly, well, what is it do you want? Do you really want a multi-million-dollar cleaning company? Because guess what? If you want a multi-million-dollar cleaning company, guess what you got to do first? You got to become a multi-million-dollar cleaning company owner. You got to be the person that's capable of doing that in the first place. You know what I mean? If you're not capable of being the person who can manage the organization that runs that operation, you got to grow within. And I mean, you got to become the person that can manage the stress levels, manage the people, manage the different attitudes, learn, learn nonstop, learning, going to events, and getting out there and networking. Like, I know for me, everybody know I'm an introvert. I don't like getting out and meeting new people and this and that. However, if I want that multi-million-dollar cleaning business bad enough, then I will go out there and do that, right? It's like, because everything ain't gonna always be what you want to do. And see, when you first get into entrepreneurship, before you get into it, you always convinced that, okay, well, be your own boss so you can do what you wanted for the freedom. But what a lot of times gets overlooked is the amount of sacrifice that you got to go through and how that comes later. That ain't no day one type of thing. That ain't just off top. No, I mean, where you just, oh, I start my business, I'm the boss, now I can do what I want. No, 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 no. So you did get to decide the order of things that got to get done. You did get to add it on your schedule and move things and move it around. But bottom line, it still got to get done. You know what I mean? So it's like you got to think about these things and truly be honest with yourself. First, do you really want the things that come with that thing you say you want, or did you just want some money? Like, did you really want did you want a multi-million-dollar business bad enough to have to create standard operating procedures? You know what I mean? And write it down one by one, document by document. Did you want it bad enough to sit down and go through a fucking a online course by yourself when nobody's around clapping or none of that? You know what I mean? Did you want it that bad? Or did you say, well, actually, I'd rather just go ahead and get this check from this job, and then I can invest my money in other ways and just do it a little, you know what I mean? It's gonna go a little slower, but at least I ain't gotta have the stress that come with a business. Like, be real with yourself. Now, if you I ain't gonna say if you got what it takes, because it'll make it sound like it's bad if you don't choose this route. And I'm not trying to convince you to choose the entrepreneurship route at all. I just know for me, that is worth it for me, right? Because I don't see another way that it could come one fast, right? This person also I was talking about earlier, one of the exercises that I did with them to help them think clearer was, I'm gonna put this song down. So if I start to sound a little bit distant, that's why I'm gonna put it down so I can get this chicken ready to go. But one of the exercises that I did with them was we sat down, and I already knew the answer, but I wanted them to see it. I didn't want them to make it. I didn't want them to feel like I was selling to them and trying to show them to do my way, because my way is the how. My way is the best way of all time, right? So what I did was I had them go to ChatGPT, and actually, you know what? They did it before they came to me, and they wanted to compare ChatGPT's advice to mine, and it was perfect. So this person, they went to ChatGPT, and they asked ChatGPT. They got about, let's just say they had about 10 grand saved up in a retirement account from when they did have a job. And so And they asked ChatGPT, okay, well, how can I invest this money and retire within the next, I think it was 10 years. And so me, because I actually, I'm educated enough and I know enough about money and business to know that ain't gonna happen. It's just not gonna happen unless you get lucky as hell where you catch a Bitcoin situation where you just happen to put it in there and it happened. But it's nothing you can strategically do, you know what I mean, without being a psychic that you can put 10 grand into and have, $1 million in 10 years. You just can't unless you put it into a business. That is the only thing. That's it. Or you can get lucky with a piece of property too. But even then, I don't think I've ever seen it in property. You might see it in stocks. You see it in what is it? Uh, what is it called? Goddamn. Oh, not anyway. Bitcoin. I'm talking about digital currency, virtual currency, whatever it's called. But anyway, you see it in those, but you wouldn't see that typically anywhere else. Okay. I jumped all back. I was scared as hell. I put that chicken in there, but I forgot I've been turned the eye down, so I was good. But anyway, all right. So long story short, though, and I'm like, so it's basically virtually impossible unless you try to do it through a business. And so because now if you do the math on a business, okay, let's just say you take, and it don't even got to be 10 grand. It could be less than that. Y'all know that if you do something like a cleaning business, but let's just say it's a cleaning business. You do 100 grand that first year. That's 6 figures, right? You do 100 grand that first year, and then you just duplicate that same growth over the next 10 years. Guess how much you got? You got $1 million company within a 10-year span. There's no stock you can put that 10 grand in anywhere and have a predictable cash flowing income like that. None of them. Name every single one of them. It can't be done. And so, but again, I had to get this person to see what was possible and how it was possible, so that way they can get clear on, because now we move to the next step. Okay, now what do you have to do in order to do that? Okay, well, first I gotta grow by at least $1,000 a month. If I grow by $1,000 a month, I'm just rounding up. You grow by $1,000 a month, okay, well, by the end of the year, you at 12 grand. That's your 100,000 right there for the year, right? Then I gotta drop this chicken, and then okay, so you do it over the next 10 years and you need it, right? But it's like, okay, well, let's come on, keep working through the plan. Well, okay, well, how you get to $1,000 a month growth? Well, you got to propose to at least $10,000 worth of business every month. Well, how the hell you going to propose to $10,000 worth of business every month? Well, you got to generate enough leads, right? to get you to that many damn proposals. So you got to go through enough walkthroughs. Well, how are we going to get enough walkthroughs to do that? And then you start doing the math. Well, if I buy this amount of leads from cleanbizleads.com, I can do this. Or if I cold call this many businesses, I can get X amount of walkthroughs. You know what I mean? But you just break this stuff down. Sorry, this shit got loud as hell. And now I gotta get my plate ready. But you break this stuff down and you just do the math on it. Like sometimes we make stuff harder than it gotta be. It's really simple. I'm not telling you it was easy, but it's very simple. And so everything, if it's not simple, if the plan ain't simple, then you need to find a way to simplify it. Whatever you're trying to do, if you can't have a simple way to achieve it, then figure out a way to make it more simple and simplify it. Because it ain't hard. It ain't got to be hard. Excuse me, it ain't got to be complicated. It's going to be hard. Let me make sure that's clear. There's a difference, but it's not complicated. It's get customers, take care of those customers, and go get some more customers. Take care of them. Get some cleaners, take care of those cleaners, go get some more cleaners. As you get more customers, maintain it all. Learn software to put in place. Implement software to put in place. Implement new ideas. Get creative. You know what I mean? It's all the little nuances that come though, as long as you want it bad enough. But all right, cool. That's my rant, and I'm kind of distracted with this chicken, so I'm gonna feed all of y'all. And I'm about to start looking at the questions. Drop your questions in the chat. And by the way, make sure y'all join us at cleanbiznetwork.com/CBN. Join. You go on to cleanbiznetwork.com website and just check out all the different offers that we got. We got a bunch of stuff there that can help you out with growing your business, scaling your business, starting your business. Got starter kits for that. So check that out. That's us. check on this chicken. So not bad. It's the second time in my life I actually fried some chicken. Man, it's doing okay. I wanted it to look a little bit different, but we're gonna get it better. Right. Everything takes time. Everything takes practice. But anyway, all right. Let me look at these. Let me look at the chat. See what y'all got going on for me. All right. Take that. Speaking of leads, are they leads caught back up, or are they still working on getting current? Not trying to be rude this period. So actually, I just checked this morning. We ahead of what I thought we was. So let's get there. We doing good. And somebody just I know we had a big order last week, and we already got most of their orders in. So it's doing pretty good. And I think what we did, because I had a meeting with them this morning, and what I showed them how to do was like how to basically be strategic about um, choosing which client to work on that. Because I think sometimes they were just going in order, and other times they were just going with who area looked the easiest to get a lead from. But you got to remember too, these people they get not these people, these callers, my people, but they get a commission, right? For every appointment that they set. So you know how that can go when you're working with people who get paid off commission. Sometimes you prioritize yourself over the best result for the business. And so I had to have that talk with them too. Like, you got to understand that somebody bought a lead, last month, and they still waiting on that damn lead this month. We need to look like fuck what you got going on. We need to get prior of that person because why would you come back? You know what I mean? If you had to wait that long for, like, I understand y'all want to get y'all money and you want to make your commission, but at the very same time, you have to be considerate of the client too, and not just yourself. So, but now we doing pretty. We doing better than we were when I had to make that announcement. But we are not still there yet. So with that said, the in-house lead generation is still available on sale, and you can get that at cleanbizuniversity.com, and it'll show you how to generate leads the same way that we do. So definitely take advantage of that. And the discount code for that would be Save 50. So use discount code Save 50. All right, what else we got? Uh, Okay, we ain't got questions, but we got a couple more people checking. I appreciate that. Let's see, we got I don't know how to say that. I think that's Fafa. Seattle, Washington checking in. I appreciate you. EHS Breeze Orlando checking in. Appreciate you checking in. Always on my I always see your name on the Instagram. So I appreciate that. Uh English Chick says, is that an option to purchase one lead? Absolutely. So if you go, it's crazy you asked that too, right? Because somebody the person crazy, that person again, I was mentoring. They said they was going on my website. They was going to try my lead, which they are good at cold calling, but they just don't want to do it. So, and that's fine. And if you got, I say, if you got the time, pick up the phone. If you got the money, then you buy the lead. If you got both, do both. But if you got one or the other, do one or the other. But anyway, that person was on the website and they only saw the plan. And I'm like, wait, what you mean you only see the plan? I'm thinking something wrong with the site. And I was like, go back to it, scroll down. And that was right there. So yeah, go to cleanbizleads.com and just simply scroll down. And so I was thinking about what I'm gonna probably do too in the future, because if that person made that simple, error and not pulling down, I'm sure that's not the only person. So what I also learned from this, and it's something that I teach, but I guess I wasn't just practicing as I preach, right? So everybody don't know, but marketers, digital marketers know that you want as many of the action items at the top as possible. And y'all should apply this to y'all website too. I mentioned this in several other videos too. If you're in CBN and you look at the module 2, you notice I talk about this in the website training. But you want to have the action items at the top. So you want to have your phone number up there. You want to have, he said, would say 50 words, not on leads. Not on leads. Leads costing me too much in overhead. Courses are digital, right? So it ain't too much of overhead there. But anyway, but you want to have all your action items at the top of your website. So you want to have your phone number at the top. You want to have a booking or schedule a walkthrough button at the top. Whatever you want to get people to do, make sure that's like very apparent up front, and try to put as much, the basics up top. Like, for example, where are you located? I go a lot of cleaning companies' websites and they don't even say the cities that they service. You know what I mean? Then you also want to say, what do you do? A lot of y'all don't even got the services that you offer. Then it's like, okay, well, who the hell is this? Y'all don't got the About Us section in there. And it's like, okay, well, just because you type this, I need to see you. And then you got stock pictures on there instead of yourself. Like, be proud, stand on business, right? Stand behind your business. Now, everybody don't want to have a personal brand, and I understand that. So I'm not telling you to go do that. However, if you're gonna do it, right? Because it's clearly I monetize that very well. But what I am saying though is, but you still want to know, like, you might not know who like y'all, like, unless you study it like I do, right? But you might not like see Tim Cook's face on Apple's website, but but if you research it, you can find it, right? And so it's like if your company has a brand built good enough, then no, you don't have to necessarily, incorporate that. But I will tell you this, especially when you're small, people will buy from you before they buy from your company. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and sell yourself too. All right. But for leads, actually though, I do got a discount code for leads right now. Or do I? It actually, I don't know. Yeah, it'll work. It'll work. It'll work. It'll work. Okay. So yeah, the Black Friday discount code is still available because it is Cyber Monday. So you can use discount code BF2025. So put that in, no spaces or nothing like that. Just BF2025. All right. What else we got? My guy Mahar says, I'm proud of you, bro. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Yeah, bro. I had to, sit back and take a look at your life sometime. See what the patterns are, see what, all right, man, we can improve here, and then you make those adjustments. You know what I mean? Hey, I'm proud of you. I see you getting to it. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna have to get you in there and Clean Biz fitness channel and the new community. How you start leading some exercises for us, man? Because the amount of gains you made is crazy. I don't know if you noticed that or not, but them gains are crazy. What else we got? Okay, nice to hear. I ordered back in October. I'll just keep being patient. I know when I get them, they'll pay off for sure. For sure. Absolutely. And I did check today. We finally got rid of September and August, right? So, yes, October people are still in there. So, but if you tell me what your actual name is or your company, so I can go look at it and I'll let them know tomorrow. If I look at it, depending on, comparing you to with the other people that ordered, I can see so you can expedite yours. All right, yeah, y'all drop y'all questions real quick. I'm about to check on this chicken real quick. What time we got? Oh yeah, I'm doing good too. My wizard come on at 7, so let me just go ahead and go live now while I cook, so I can get it all done. Also, I know YouTube don't be showing everybody my stuff, or Instagram and Facebook for that matter. So if you haven't seen the movie trailer for my new movie that's coming out, it's supposed to drop on Christmas, somewhere around that time. So make sure you go check that out. But it's basically a movie. It's called what is it called? I didn't name it, so I forget it. Shout out to Big Long. He wrote it, produced it, everything. Shout out to Big Long for real. CBN conference, but it's basically about me pulling off this last CBN conference and how I just didn't think I was gonna make it. He wrote the script about me to be that, but shit, I was living it, so it was easy. Like they had me actually acting, you know what I mean? But it was like it was easy to act because it was my real life. So, and it was like I don't know how he was able to. It was just nice how he was able to basically almost embody me. And he way out in Vegas, I'm way over here. We only met once in real life, which was the conference before that. You know what I mean? He's not a super active member in CBN. He in there, but he ain't really too hot. So it was just amazing to see, you know what I mean, that he was able to use that script and, kind of model a lot of me with limited information and stuff. All right, what's up, Bat Mom? I see you checking in. I ain't even see that one at first. Appreciate you. All right. Well, like we ran out of questions, y'all. So I don't know. I might hop off now. I'm gonna give y'all a little bit more time. And then also while I'm at it, I gotta mention it as always. And let me put some stuff up. Let's see. I don't even know how to work this thing from the phone. Let's see. Where is nah. Okay. I think I'm getting close. Okay, no, not that. Yeah, I can't find it. But anyway, like I said, we do still got Black Friday deals on everything CBN. So if you go to the main website, Clean Biz, goddamn it, cleanbiznetwork.app, www.cleanbiznetwork.app, and you pretty much can get to everything from the site. Don't be scared to scroll all the way up and all the way down and click the menu button and all of that too. Like if everything is, you can get everything pretty much from there. Okay. Also, I didn't say this yet because I didn't officially shut the website down yet, but I did decide going into the new year, I'm officially shutting down the 10K program. So if you were interested in that, if you like that, and you're kind of disappointed about that, I do still have the Clean Business Growth Kit. So if you want to get one of those, cleanbusinessgrowthkit.com is where you can check out more information with that. If you need to break it down to you want to talk to me about it before you move forward, book a call with me. And you can do that. I think it should be a calendar right on that website where you can go in there and book a call with me. Speaking of, I do one-on-ones. I don't promote it often, but go to clean with calendly.com/AJ Simmons online, and then you can book a one-on-one with me too. All right, I see a comment. Let's see what we got. English Chick says, "What are your thoughts about using Yelp?" I think so. My answer to any type of marketing is always yes. Right? I've seen people have good results with Yelp. I've seen people have bad results with Yelp. I think that, if you haven't found your thing that you feel like is your number one go-to thing yet, or if you haven't found something that's consistent to bring you leads, I say try it. Worst you can do, just try it, and whatever you do, I don't know if they got lock-in contracts, because they done had since I started. Some of these companies done merged and bought each other out and stuff. It used to just be Home Advisors. Angie Leads didn't even exist yet. You know what I mean? So it was so many different things, but so I don't know if they make you do lock-in contracts like Home Advisor used to do. But if they do, then don't do that. But from what I understand, Yelp does have a free version. So list your business up there for the free version, and you can get leads that way too. What else we got? But also, if you want to buy and spend some money with them, go for it. But like I said, just make sure you evaluate and see if you think it's worth it for you. Some people might say yes, some people might say no. But your experience might be different than other people's. Tay Tobin says, "My company is ready for cleaning. No rush, though. I'm not trying to bug y'all. I know you have a lot going on. I'm just happy y'all for the service like this. And they really were. I appreciate that. And that's something, too, because, sometimes I get down when we make mistakes, right? And then we fuck up like we did. And I just be ready to shut it down. You're not to shut it down, but 2 or 3 times in the past. But luckily, after doing, you get wisdom over time and after you make mistakes and stuff. And actually, this chicken came out damn good. Now that I done let it sit, yeah, this thing about to have that little crunch sound to it. All right, now I should have had the video on so y'all can see this. I can show off a little bit. But anyway, anyway, though, damn, where was I going? Oh yeah, but I get discouraged sometimes when I mess up, right? But then you get over, you get stuck in your little mood for that moment, and then you get past it. And I had a good talk with ChatGPT. I've been using AI more and more now, starting to get comfortable with it. I just make sure that if I have anything personal, I put it on private mode and I'm not logged in or nothing like that. But anyway, um, and I'm sure if they wanted to bad enough, they could figure out who the hell it is anyway, IP addresses and all this stuff. But anyway, um, and even with a VPN, I feel like they could figure it out. But anyway, going back to the point. But yeah, but anyway, so I had to coach myself through. Okay, well, how can we navigate through this? Make sure you just transparent, communicate with the people, because at the end of the day, like you said, it actually does work. Now, like, it will be perfect? No, but it absolutely positively does work. And like I say, even when I was getting contracts through, like for myself, when I needed to get contracts, I was using it myself, so I know for a fact it works. You know what I mean? And then, like I said, we wouldn't have been able to survive this long if it didn't work at all. And I've been doing some things like I put automation in place to automatically send you, which I would need to tweak it a little bit because it's sending people this text out even before they get all of the appointments. But anyway, it's automation set to text you and ask you, how will your walk? How was your walkthrough? How much was the opportunity worth? If you closed the deal or not? Are you happy with the service? What do you rate it? And we've been doing pretty decent. Like when I would do stuff like that in the past with the lead gen, it was like 2, right? The average score was like 2 something. Now we more like 3 and 4. So it's like, okay, we get better. You know what I mean? And then the thing that surprised me the most was the average amount that the contracts were worth that people were saying. And I'm like, wow. So on average right now, each according to the people who actually submitted that form, right? So everybody don't always fill it out. But according to people who actually submitted the survey, so far on average, the opportunities are all worth about $1,000 per month recurring. So that's damn good, and that's exactly what I was aiming for. Because like I always tell y'all, just try to grow about $1,000 a month. And so, but that's that. But anyway, but yeah, I appreciate that feedback. My guy Top Notch Terry says, "AJ, what time is the workout?" 8 o'clock. So I'm gonna be at 8 o'clock, bro. I did 8:30 today, but I said I'm gonna go ahead and push it to 8 because if I push it to 8, I can get more stuff done and be back faster for my meetings. Because my meetings usually start around 10. But yeah, so hop on in there with me. All right, what else we got? English chick. I'm noticing a lot of commercial owners don't want to pay accordingly. It ain't just. Oh, you mean okay? But I hear you. So I don't think that's a trend. I think you're going off a small sample size. And then two, one of the biggest things that biggest mistakes that people make is they assume that the reason that they didn't win the bid is because of price. And a lot of times it ain't even that. And so make sure that if you don't want to bid, make sure you ask why. You know what I mean? Like word it in a particular way, right? Where it don't come off like brash, but definitely ask them why. You know what I mean? Like, so let's just say you submit a proposal, you follow it up, make sure they got it. They say, okay, I'll get back with you, we'll let you know. And you call back the second time, you follow up again, and they be like, actually, we decided we're gonna stick with who we have right now, but we appreciate you. We'll let you contact you in the future should we change our mind. And then I don't just get off the phone and let it stop there. Get educated. So say, okay, well, if you don't mind, could you just share with me like what made you guys decide to go with that decision just for future reference? Was it the price? Was it the current cleaning company improved? Like, is there anything that you could share with me? One time, matter of fact, Terry right up to you. I think it was it was him. It was him. Because he was in the 1010 program. And at one time it was simply they was busy. They was doing a management changeover, and they just ain't had time to, commit to that. Nobody ain't had time to do it. And then I think the position won't even filled for a little while to even handle it. They were like, well, look, I'm gonna keep this on file and pass this information on to the new guy when he get here, and then we'll close it. I think it took them maybe probably about 6 months to close that damn deal, but it closed the deal. And so you'd be surprised. Like, don't think that everything is about price. Number one, so make sure you really know the reason why, and then two, be mindful. The commercial cleaning sales process can be lengthy. So that's why you got to keep your pipeline full with leads. You have to keep the leads coming in nonstop. That's why even if you ain't looking to grow for real, like you just make it a routine from this time to this time, cold call every day, Monday through Friday, banging out, even if it's just an hour a day. But it's just a routine thing. You know what I mean? Just like with hiring, always have your digital application on your website. Always say we're hiring. Have that on your website. We're hiring. Even if you ain't hiring, just have them because, we'll keep your application on file. So that way you got people to pull from when you actually are hiring. That's exactly what McDonald's does. That's exactly what Walmart does. All of these different places, they always hire. I used to wonder when I was a teenager, like we used to, because back in my day, right, we had this shopping center called Victory Crossing. I say back in my day, it's still around. But when I was a teenager and I used to look for jobs in my homeboy, and we would walk from my house to that shopping center looking for jobs to apply for. And a lot of those places will have like window stickers on their storefront window or whatever, and they will say now hiring. And I used to just be curious. I've always been curious, and I just wonder like how the hell they always hiring? Like how they know they hiring to the point where they can stick this on it. But then once I learned business, I figured out that's why. It's because even if they're not literally hiring in that moment, well, they always taking applications. And if you're not, and that's it, and I'm wording this as if you're talking about W-2 employees. But if you using subcontractors, well, instead of saying we always taking applications, always hiring, you just say we always looking for new vendors to add to our vendor list. Same thing. All right, next one. I've been using it and it's going good. Do you know of any company similar to Yelp? Oh, good. So good. So if you've been using it and it's been going good, don't worry about what I think anyway. Right? But good for you though. So I'm glad it's working out. All right, Lisa says, AJ, do you know when Route will launch their lead program? So I think what we tried it in the past, we partnered together on it a bit. I don't know if they scratched it because I ain't talked to Ricky in a little while. This is long as we haven't not talked to. I gotta reach out to him. But anyway, so I don't know if they scratched it or they just still making tweaks. You know what I mean? Trying to improve it. I think the last time I think they're going to subcontracting route instead versus selling leads. They just going to sell. I think they might do both. I don't know. I got to check back basically with Ricky to be honest with you. All right, what else we got? Carolina, appreciate you always showing support, showing love. Shout out to Carolina. Says, hey AJ, so happy to see you live. I appreciate that. I'm gonna try to keep these up as often as possible, especially seeing that too. Y'all don't mind if the camera is off, because that'd be the hold up a lot of times too. I ain't got the hair cut no more, so now I gotta always make sure my hair done this and that. I see what the women go through now. Y'all want to make sure everything right. But anyways, but nah, and I'm like, you know what? My people don't care. They just here for the video anyway. They was here for the glitz and glamour. They wouldn't be fucking with me. So There's that. My bad. I tried not to cuss, but it had already came out. All right. What else we got? Uh, let's see. Is that Chewy? Says, salute, brother. I'm a bit confused. I want to join the program, but it gives me a few choices. I just want to expand. I have 4 buildings on my own right now. Please help. Okay, so I guess the best thing for me to ask you would be to like what if you say, all right, so basically you're trying to expand. Okay. Because okay, do you just want to expand or do you know you need some help with coaching? Do you know you need some help with how to price the job? Do you know you need, you know what I mean? Because here's what I'll say. My initial answer to that is always just join Clean Business Network. Because one, if you go through that course, it's gonna tell you all of the stuff you probably missing anyway. It's good that you've been rolling already. I don't know if you're in a coaching program or not already, but if you've been doing this already on your own and you got 4 by yourself, damn good. But if you're doing CBN and you go through that cleaning business starter course, it's gonna fill in a lot of those holes that you know what I mean, that you like, oh damn, that I knew, okay, I ain't know I was supposed to do that. You know what I mean? So that'll fix a lot of stuff. But then the thing is too, okay, well now you probably gonna need some leads if you're looking at expand. So you could just buy leads, right? But what I say is join CBN. That's the first thing. So that when you go through the course, get the community. I do monthly coaching call. I actually about to move up to weekly here shortly too, because I really want to turn it up as we go to the new community. But yeah, so join CBN, and then once you're in CBN, there's gonna be a discount code for leads inside of the starter course. Use that discount code and get you some leads. You know what I mean? Or you can just use the information from the course and go get leads on your own, depending on what route you want to take. And there's that. But that's what I would recommend. And then, or if there's one more option, you can get a cleaning business growth kit if you really want to like sprint through. So that's gonna come with 10 appointments from my lead generation service, 2 one-on-one coaching calls from me, a year free to CBN. What I think that's it. That might be it. Yeah. But our software has bidding calculators, proposal generator. I mean, you name it. You can bring your website over to it and host it through us, so you ain't got to keep paying for another third-party website hosting company, but all that stuff. So, oh, yep. There go Terry right there, vouching for the story that I just gave, so y'all can know I'm just be pulling this stuff out my ass. All right. Angler Chick says, on the commercial end, I've had meetings, but they don't want to pay the rate. Pay a rate worth my time. Example, 10,000 square feet for once a week. Wanted to pay 300 weekly. I asked and they wanted me to lower my number. 300 weekly, 300 weekly, 300 weekly. So you talking about 12 for once a week? It depends. I can't do that off the top of my head, but it doesn't sound too far off. I guess what I can do for you is this. I want to ask you, how long would it take you to clean that job? Because that's how we can reverse engineer that. So let's just say, for example, your production rate on that is 2,000. Well, that'll be 5 hours worth of cleaning each week. So you got to say, okay, well, so what's $300 divided by 5 hours? And then what's the hourly rate on that? I don't know, 300 times divided by 5. Y'all, somebody help me in the chat. I think that's what it is, probably about $55 a visit, $55 an hour. I mean, that sound about right, close enough. So anyway, so let's just say $55 an hour. That is an amazing deal because you can get it for $55 an hour, pay somebody else $20 an hour to do it, and you making a pass for 25. Or you can pay somebody else 25, make a pass for 20, however you want to do it. If my math is right, that's an excellent deal. And so that's what I mean too. Like when I say that's why you should be in CBN. Like, because a lot of people don't, sometimes and I forgot who I was talking to not too long ago. Was it? No, it wasn't. I don't know who that was, but anyway, but they was like, debating with me about the price, and they were saying, well, ChatGPT said this, and I'm like, okay, let's just do the math, because you got to remember what ChatGPT is too. It's just a learning model, so it only knows what everybody putting on the internet anyway. But the problem is everything on the internet ain't facts, and so so you got to be careful where you're getting your advice from, and you just got to know how to price. It's really all it is. It's just math. It's the same thing as if you was calculating your paycheck from your job. How long it's gonna take us to do it? What's the going rate that we would charge for that? And that's what the price is. But the problem is most people don't know. So then you got to do complicated things like knowing the square footage so you can divide it by the production rate. Then most people don't know their production rate. So you got to figure out what your production rate is. And then also people don't know how much they're supposed to even charge per hour in the areas and stuff like that. So what I teach in the cleaning business automation, excuse me, clean business, not the basic one, not the automation program. Automation comes with more than that, way more than that. But anyway, But in the Clean Biz, what is that? I mean, the Clean Biz starter course, which if you join CBN, you get that course anyway. All right. What else we got? Is Route still letting CBN members get on their platform? They should be. So if I think what the link is in the description of the interview I did with my guy. Damn, I feel bad. I feel bad. My bad. Damn. What is it? Ken. Ken. There we go. Ken. So the link to it should be there in the interview I did with Ken. So all right, checking it down. So yeah, check the description of the comment section of that video and just go click it and you should be able to sign up there. All right. What else we got? That's what I offered. They wanted it low. Oh, okay, that's what you offered. Gotcha. And so again, and that's what I was saying. $55 is great. So when I said great, what I really meant was that's hot. So I thought they were offering you that. If you would, I would say you better take that like ASAP. So here's what I would ask you if you want to do. And again, yeah, here's what I would say. Make sure you join CBN if you ain't in there already. But anyway, here's what I would say to you because you'll be able to. Anyway, here's what I would say to you. Number one, start with this. How much is it going to cost you to get somebody else to do it? And I'm not talking about you trying to act like you can afford to pay people a damn white collar salary for cleaning. Like, let's be realistic. Go on Indeed and see what are people paying people in your area for commercial cleaning. If the going rate in your area is $13 an hour, you shouldn't be going more than 15 just for somebody to get started. Like I always like to go at least about $2 an hour more than what the average area is rate is in my area, and that's it. So if you can pay somebody else $15 an hour to do it, then me personally, I wouldn't charge more than $30 an hour to the customer. And so when you do that logic, assuming my math's right when I came with that $55 an hour for you earlier, that means your price is way higher than what somebody more seasoned or a bigger company will be able to go in at. So there's that. All right. I have experience with a franchise my mom owns, and my mom owns it, but I learned and I'm going through my company now. No middleman. She is still in the franchise for 10 years and counting. Is expensive. Exactly. I know a bunch of people like that. And it's like, and they know me personally, and they watch me go through that, make those mistakes, and I keep telling them, get out. Like I know franchises like the back of my hand. I done dealt with them, and it's like, I guess why I created a solution. And I didn't complain about them either. Well, at least not in public, right? But I was really dissatisfied. But I always live by the motto of do not complain about something until you got a solution for it. So once I created an alternative for it, which originally was a starter kits, claiming starter kits, and then eventually, I learned how to build bidding calculators and lead generation, all of that good stuff to help you even more with not needing them. But once I figured that out, man, I was like, yeah, I'm not messing with them. And so I know it's so many people I know personally, like I said, like that. But sometimes people just they get comfortable, and once you get comfortable, which I'm living it right now. I was comfortable, and so it's like, all right, AJ, let's get back to it. You've been bullshitting, and I go through these phases. Y'all hear me time and time again over the years. It's like sometimes I'll get on a roll, and other times I'm rolling. I get in the funk, and so that's why too I'm purposely doing this stuff in public so I can be held accountable by y'all, right? Because a lot of times we just need accountability partners too. And so one of my strategies and my secrets for being able to, sustain this long in business is because I got a personal brand, I got a reputation, and what I don't want to do is be full of shit, right? And so it's like, well, I guess I better deliver it. So even though I'm in that gym working out by myself and nobody can see it, I know that I did it, and I know that. So when the time comes and y'all see me in person at the conference, I ain't fat and sloppy. You know what I mean? And don't like I'm out of shape. Or I know that I'm delivering on my business and making sure that my people, I'm implementing an automation system too because I'm teaching you to do that. You know what I mean? It's like basically I just try to practice what I preach. And it's like, so with that said, if you don't have an accountability partner, maybe you can put an accountability system in place like how I did. I leveraged my following YouTube, and that is my accountability. But then also, if some of y'all don't want to, go that route, which I get it, because sometimes I regret doing it in myself. And so what you could also do is join a community like Clean Biz Network. and then partner with people in there who hold each other accountable, like my guy Christian Gilbert and damn, I forgot his name. I forgot his name. My bad, bro. We had the interview and everything. I see you in my head. I know exactly, but I forgot your name off the top of my head. But they got real close. You know what I mean? I see Charles Banks and Trevino was talking the other day. They helping each other out. You know what I mean? Tony Williams and Brandon Orr. They were real close. Matter of fact, me and them, we done got like real life personal friends. You know what I mean? So you want to start getting in communities like these where you can build those things where people can hold you accountable, or you can have somebody that'll motivate you to keep going, even though sometimes I'm telling you, you really just don't want to do it no more. You really be wanting to quit. But anyway, I'm ranting long enough, and my whistle is about to come on in 3 minutes, and my food is done cooking, and y'all stop the questions. So I'm gonna stop this right here. But what I am gonna say one more time is this: we do got discounts on everything still for Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend, or whatever. So use discount code, what is it? BF 2025 Black Friday. So BF 2025 at checkout. You can use that on leads, courses, starter kits, growth kits, everything. So check it out. I'm AJ Simmons. Appreciate y'all so much for watching. I will. What is this? I'm in CB and I actually put it in the group, but they told me 4,000 square feet. When I got there, it was a different story. My name is Bria Walker. You helped me in the group. Oh, perfect. So look, just FYI on that. I'm glad you said this before I go. Because they told you it was 4,000, but when you got there, you measured it was actually 10. That is important. One, that's exactly why we don't do blind bids and commercial. I know a lot of people want to do that. And some people trying to even use, they want to pull up the blueprints or pull up the square footage online. And I'm just not a huge fan of that at all. And I'm going to tell you the main reason for me is because, one, that could happen, right? Where they tell you something, or it might be listed on the website or something. Like even I got a property that I had in Virginia. The square footage that they said the house was on the public record is not what the square footage was in that house for real. But anyway, so that's the one problem, right? Then the other problem is this. The blueprint can only tell you the whole entire square footage of the building. It can't tell you the cleanable space square footage. And that is a big difference. Because if you quote them on, let's just say, for example, the blueprint say the building is 20,000 square feet, then you go in there and they say, oh, well, we only want these rooms, and that room done. Now it went from a 20,000 square foot opportunity to a 5,000 square foot opportunity, which is a major difference in price. So again, like, be careful with your shortcuts, you know what I mean? And make sure that you learning from somebody that's got the experience, that really been doing this. And I'm that guy. That's why you need to join us at cleanbusinessnetwork.com. I'm AJ Simmons, y'all. I appreciate you. Like I said, y'all can use that discount code and check out. It is BF 2025 to get a percentage off. And suddenly, of course, I found these at the last minute. Right? Of course, I found these at the last minute. So that's the code right there. You want to put that in at checkout. And then I'm out of here. Thank y'all so much for watching.
Are you looking to start your own cleaning company? Or maybe you started your cleaning company, but you just need a support group, some mentorship, some guidance. Hell, a bidding calculator just to help you know if you're pricing the job correctly. Join us at cleanbiznetwork.app. That's www.cleanbiznetwork.app today and get on the right track with your cleaning company. We have everything you could possibly need to get you going in the right direction, and see why we've been the leading cleaning business consulting company for the past 5 years, and why they call me AJ Simmons the cleaning business GOAT. So I can help you just like I've helped, and my company has helped thousands of other people start and grow their cleaning companies. Go to the #1 source today, www.cleanbiznetwork.app. Thank you.